Hello and welcome to the Crookedrivercast. I am your host, Robert, and joining me every week is my friend Tom to help us keep track of what is going on in Northeast Ohio. This is show 18, recorded on July 19th, 2025. Let's see what we have to talk about today. Tom, another week, another show.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Feeling fat, Rob.
Really?
Yeah, I'm feeling so fat.
What? Okay, I'll bite. Why? Why are you feeling fat, Tom?
I don't know, man. I started rehearsing with the band, and I got my first few gigs coming up here pretty soon.
Oh, nice.
And my guitar is hanging so funny off me, right off my belly. It's right off a big, funny angle putting on it. Yeah, I'm a little depressed.
Is it affecting your play at all?
Not really, but, it's kind of embarrassing.
Sorry, I'm laughing because I actually was watching in church a couple weeks ago. I was watching the person playing the guitar and thinking, I wonder if the belly affects the way they hold the guitar.
Let me tell you, it does.
I'm just the church did a song, and I'm just kind of, my eyes are wandering around I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? Playing guitar, I could see how that would. that's
But let me tell you something, Rob. I found something that's going to help.
Okay.
I've been trying to find a diet aid, and I think I found one. Let me play the commercial for it.
Oh, good.
I was overweight and looked terrible, but AIDS helped me lose 46 pounds. The AIDS diet plan helped me lose 28 pounds.
AIDS helps control your appetite so you lose weight, yet AIDS lets you taste, chew, and enjoy. And the appetite suppressant in AIDS is not a stimulant.
AIDS helped me to lose 18 pounds, and it doesn't contain anything to make me nervous.
Question: why take diet pills when you can enjoy AIDS? AIDS helps you lose weight without making you jittery.
Oh, that's horrible.
Rob, I got to go get AIDS.
What the heck was that from?
You don't remember that, huh?
No, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't.
That's okay. So back in the day, you're a few years younger than me, but I remember this because I was probably around 10 or 11, and I used to see these commercials on television. And I think the last one played around 1982 before the, right as they were peaking the business of AIDS, which is a diet suppressor. It was like a candy. It was around from the late 70s to early 80s. And they played these commercials, and I kind of remember hearing those commercials. But once the AIDS pandemic happened, that took them out of business.
You think? Wow, that's wow. What a.
Well, I mean, it wasn't their fault. It was AYDS. People can look up. There's commercials all over YouTube.
AYDS, yeah.
Yeah, AYDS, and it was just like this little candy that you took as a just a hunger suppressant. And they tried rebranding.
That's unfortunate. So.
Yeah, right. They were peaking as the AIDS pandemic hit. And from what they tried changing their name, rebranding. But what was funny is they used AIDS Slim, and they used something else with the word AIDS in it. It's like I would have just shut down and just start totally changed the name.
Yeah. Yes. Well, hindsight being what it is, I guess. Yeah. But I guess going into it, maybe they thought they could just get by with it's probably worse than, naming your website Neotrans. In this day and age.
Probably.
Northeast Ohio Trans. Wait, no, that's not what we wanted. That's no.
Oh, I got a PSA too.
Yes.
Speaking of pandemics, COVID is on the rise.
No.
In Ohio. Yes. COVID-19 is on the rise in Ohio. And
is it a crisis, Tom? Crisis.
Well, it's they're just letting people know. It's called NB 1.8.1 or Nimbus. They're still naming these things, and they're affecting patients with razor blade throat.
Oh yeah, I heard this.
Yeah,
okay.
I found that on the Who Gives a Shit channel.
Oh, you watched that too? I don't know. Is that an actual channel?
It is. They have many outlets.
Oh, yes, they do. I'm following you now. All right.
Yeah.
All right, funny guy. That was good. So I had a busy week. The only thing I have to give is an experience of my first experience getting stuck on a coaster, on a roller coaster.
You got stuck on a coaster?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
went to Cedar Point the other day, and I've been on so many coasters, and I've never had a stoppage or anything. So my daughter and I went on the Maverick, one of our favorite rides at Cedar Point, and waited in line. What lines weren't too long, and got on and got up. As no, the Maverick's not a chain driven up the hill thing; it's a magnets. So
Right.
it was even a stranger because when it got right to the top, and then all of a sudden it's like the power just cut off, and it just slowly rolled back down, and then we sat there for I don't know 30 to 40 minutes, strapped in the most uncomfortable seat out of any seat anywhere, I should say, including coasters and all that. It's just, ugh. But I mean, a couple minutes is usually okay, but 35, 40 minutes,
Oh man.
first time for everything. And it's bad when they bring the step ladder out
Oh no.
to get you off. They tried restarting it and all this stuff, but it's an
you had to
experience.
get off and they didn't fix it, huh?
Yeah, they tried a couple times to fix it, and then they did 3 or 4 times. They said, nope, we're done, and they shut it down. So, and then
I'll tell you what, I would rather have them just get me off of it instead of fixing it.
Yes, actually, what I was thinking on, like, this gives me more anxiety than going on the coaster,
Right?
because
right.
I'm strapped shoulder harness in a seat, and I can't move. And after a while, I'm like, I just want to get out.
Yeah,
but what are you going to do? It's all part of the experience.
I guess so.
I know the weather wasn't hot or anything. So
what day did you go?
This is Thursday.
Oh yeah, that was a good day.
Yeah, it was a really nice day. A nice little breeze up there at Sandusky, and crowds weren't too bad. Tried to get on Siren's Curse, the new one, a tilt coaster, and right about to get in line, and they closed it because it broke down. Which happens with coasters. Anywho, so good week, busy week, another busy one coming up, and another week and another list of stories in front of us. But we have a first, Tom. A show first.
What's that?
Listener feedback.
Oh, hell, that's cool.
I'm excited. I got listener feedback. Somebody told me I was wrong.
What?
Yes, I know. So I say, we talk all the time. We talk about this. We read stories and we blah, 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 blah. And a lot of what I have to say is, please let me know if I'm wrong. What am I not seeing here? What am I missing? So this has to do with property taxes and levies and so on and so forth. So a friend of the show reached out to me and said, take a look at this bill from 1976. That's HB 920 from 1976. HB 920 is, where did I pull up my trusty? It's a tax bill from 1976. So a property tax bill that limits how it keeps your property taxes from increases when properties values go up.
Does it work?
It works. That's the question.
Does it just control it?
So it's supposed to prevent, like I said, the big spikes in property taxes.
Okay, I don't think that worked.
That's the question. Does it work? I think to some level it kind of does, but there's a couple loopholes I'm finding.
Does it just like mute it? Like put a I guess a limit?
Yes, it puts it readjusts the millage of the levies to, I guess it's supposed to prevent it, but it doesn't seem like it does. And some of the evidence I have is from North Olmsted Schools. A year ago, they put out a YouTube video, probably I think it was during a levy they were trying to pass, explaining House Bill 920. I'm not sure let's listen. We'll stop this a couple times and go over a couple of things that they talk about, and we'll find out.
Today we are going to talk about House Bill 920 and the impact it has on North Olmsted City Schools. House Bill 920 was put in place back in 1976. It prevents a voted levy from collecting additional funds when property values increase as a result of reappraisals or updates. This means when a levy is passed, it is for a fixed dollar amount. As property values increase, the tax rate is reduced so that the district does not collect more than the original amount of dollars. Let's look at a real-life example.
Yes, let's.
Here is a current tax bill of a North Olmsted resident. This tax bill is from 2018, as that is the last time the county evaluated property values. Here you can see that the resident paid $2,737 in property taxes to the school district.
Okay.
Here is that same resident's tax bill from 2021, taking into account the most recent property value appraisal.
Mm-hmm.
Here you can see that the resident paid $2,870 in property taxes to the school district.
Wait, hold on. That's more than the last tax bill? I think 28, 27. Yeah, that's more. So this is a video. Go ahead.
Okay, it went more, but that wasn't the largest spike.
No, it's not. But the bill is to prevent an increase in your taxes when property values go up.
Right.
It doesn't seem like it works too well. And there's a couple reasons for that. We'll go over it, but that I think at least. But they have a couple of slides in this presentation. This is a tax document from 2018 in North Olmsted schools. And it shows all the breakdown of taxes. So this is in 2018 for taxes due in 2019. The market value of the home that they have an example is $144,000. So not a humongous house. Average size home, you would say?
Yeah.
And their taxes were $2,737, like they said. And in 2018, they went up a couple $100. Well, how could that be? We have Bill HB 920 that's supposed to prevent that, right?
Oh, it went up by like about $100, right?
Yeah, 5%,
okay.
4 or 5%.
Okay,
that's what.
But that's the normal increase of per year for homes. I think is like this was over a 3-year period, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Every 3 years.
All right.
Interesting thing is there's a breakdown in this document that they're showing of the net taxes that you pay on your property taxes. Yeah, this is property taxes, net taxes. And for the schools, out of 100%, obviously, 66% of your taxes go to the school. 66% go to your school. It's a huge number.
Yeah.
Which is why this is why I keep pushing on it, because it's one of the single biggest things that we pay for. The Cuyahoga County gets 15.5%, and the city of North Olmsted gets 16.2% of your taxes. The Port Authority gets some money. North Olmsted's paying for the Port Authority. Cuyahoga County Community College, you pay out your property taxes, and a couple other things. So how can this still go up? Well, there's a couple things. There's also a 20 mil floor rule, which means the schools are guaranteed at least at any levy that they pass, it can never go lower than 20 mil. So there's a limit on how much you can lower how much you can lower taxes to accommodate, rising home prices, and that's a 20 mil floor. So there's another part of this we can listen to real quick, because it's really weird and confusing why they maybe more of our listeners could help, or you can figure it out. So here.
If your property value increased by more than 17%, then you would see an increase in taxes on your tax bill. If your property value increased exactly 17%, then you would pay the same amount of taxes. And finally, if your property value increase was less than 17%, then you actually pay less taxes to the school district than you did in 2018. So what does this mean?
Why? Why is 17?
For the school district.
Oops, sorry. Why is 17%? And so if my house went up less than 17%, I get a reduction and I'll pay less taxes. But if my house goes higher than 17%, I'll pay more in taxes. But if it goes up only 17%, I'll stay the same. It's not confusing at all. Not confusing at all. Let's see if there's anything left of this.
District. Due to property values increasing during the reappraisal, the valuation
they're trying to sell it.
could have gained the district an additional $1.7 million in tax revenue. However, due to House Bill 920, the effective millage rate is reduced, which does not allow taxes to adjust at the same value as property values do.
Same there. Now you've actually said something that makes sense. It just allows it just not at the same rate as property values, but it still goes up.
Yeah.
But part of the vetoes that we keep talking about, or that we talked about last week, and we'll probably talk about next week, because I think Mondays they plan on meeting at the state legislature to try to overturn some of the vetoes. One of them was eliminating emergency or continuing levies or renewal levies, or counting them towards that 10 mil, that inside millage.
Mm.
And that was one of the things he vetoed. And that's one of the things they want to pull back and overrule the veto is that 10 mil inside. They want these emergencies to be counted against that.
And they should be, right?
Yes, because the unvoted tax increase that everybody's seeing is that inside millage.
Right.
That goes up regardless. That is the unvoted tax increase that they keep talking about. They want us to try to stop, along with this 20 mil floor. So HB 920 can only go so far. So if you have a spike of 40 or like what, and then, sorry, so the next tax season, just so you know, so this North Olmsted house was $144,000 in 2018. 3 years later, is valued at $177,000.
Yeah, that's massive.
So that inside millage gets all of that. There's no limit on inside millage as far as how it can go up. And then if you have that much of an increase, that's 40% or something, roughly.
Yeah, I think
it's more than 30.
A lot of people were getting 30 to 40%. I never heard anybody getting 50% increase, but you're getting close to it.
Right. It's not far off. I mean, you went up $37,000 in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
That inside millage goes up that 30 or 40%, whatever it is, 40 or 50%. And you can only bring down your current levies to a certain level. I mean, at this point, I would say, yes, you would have to bring it under 20 mils to keep it on the same. If you go up 30 or 40%, that's a large increase. I would say in some situations you would need to keep the property tax the same. You would have to go under that 20 mil floor.
Right.
And you're not able to. So there's your tax increase. There's your unvoted tax increase.
Well, thank you to the listener.
Yes. Thanks. Like you said, we're not right about everything. I feel like I was missing something. I can't believe that, but thank you for letting us know that. And you can continue to do things like that by checking out our website, crookedriver.com, crookedrivercast.com. I can even put it in the notes correctly. That would help. crookedrivercast.com, where you can find us on X, now on YouTube. I mean, just the audio. So you don't worry. We're not going to subject you to this right here. Yeah, you don't want any of that. So check us out. Follow us on X and all the other places. That when we have more on the website, you'll see it. Currently in process. Next on the list, ACORN is back in the news. Tom, do you remember ACORN?
I kind of remember that.
So ACORN was, I think, early 2000s. They're a community activist group. They did some work with the Obama administration and got in some hot water in I think the 2008 election. They got in some hot water after the 2008 election. It was one of the first big stories remember Project Veritas?
Was it?
Yeah. Well, maybe it wasn't Project Veritas at the time, but it was James O'Keefe.
Yeah, well, now it's called O'Keefe Media Group. OMG.
Yep.
Check them out.
Yeah, check them out. I mean, the journalism they do is nothing we've seen for a generation, I don't think. So they allegedly caught Project Veritas, I should say, allegedly falsifying, or there was some shadiness going on with ACORN registering voters at addresses that didn't exist.
Yeah,
Something that effect. I think he even went to one of their Alabama locations and there was nothing there, but they were getting federal funding. Maybe that was it. He tried to find some of their offices and he couldn't find them, like they didn't exist. But yet they've got all these grassroots efforts and stuff like that. So they're coming back with a vengeance, it sounds like. So what they've done is they got a handful of students from the Cleveland Metropolitan School District to gather at a church on the Cleveland's west side Tuesday to discuss the impacts of the federal freeze on education funding in the new state budget. ACORN,
interesting church.
Yes, ACORN. Yes, and if you're going to take pictures for the news, can you just remove the fans, please? Anyway, it's distracting. So they, what ACORN is doing is taking your students and turning them into activists. These students called on the Trump administration to restore the $6 billion in funding that previously went towards after-school programs, teacher training, and education for immigrants and English learners. That amount for Ohio was $185 million.
Damn. Nice.
Yes. Cut. So here's some quotes. I thought these were good. I feel mostly when they're trying to cut off scholarships, aid, funding for people who come from different countries where they were struggling and stuff. If they come here for a better life, the scholarships basically help them. And they're just trying to get that off. That's just wrong. Surah Ali was a student from John Marshall School of Civic and Business Leadership. Oh, what a great leader we're building there.
Activist.
Yes, activist, leaders / activists. So here's another good quote from a state board of education member, Miss Gray Ford. Dolores Gray Ford, I think. There you go. Look at the hyphenated stuff here. Who represents the Cleveland area. She raised concern about the money, about the amount of money going to voucher programs in the last budget. You can't say you care about children, but then take, something's missing from this, Tom. Hold on. I think, this will be better. You can't say you care about children, but then take away funding, take away the right for them to have a decent lunch. Take away the right. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm looking through my copy of the Constitution. What amendment is that? Is that like Amendment 93, right to a decent lunch? I'll continue. Take away the curriculum that can help them. Take away programs that they need to become successful, Gray said. It's a clown world. It's a clown world. It's a clown world. Okay, I'll stop. So there you go. ACORN is back in the news, and they are petitioning, or they are pushing for more of the same community organizing kind of junk.
It's not going to go anywhere.
No, right now, but I think they're really trying to, push to stop this recall or this overturning of these DeWine vetoes. I don't know. It just stunk to me, and I just love that quote. That's what really got me. That, and also, that's actually the next story. So they launched a campaign on Tuesday to get Cleveland Metropolitan School District to keep school buildings open for an extra hour on days when weather is either too hot or too cold for students to wait outside. Do you need a program for that? Do you need funding for that? Their proposal.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I was just about to say the same thing.
Yeah, their proposal asks the districts to use volunteers to keep an eye on things in those situations. Confused here. So you need money for that too?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I don't know. Just watch your kids, be their parents. Don't let the school be their parents. Figure out what they're doing and talk to them. I mean, they can make up their own decision, but they should see both sides of it. And ACORN is just not a good organization. They never have been, in my opinion.
I don't understand why people voted for deportations. I mean, looking at this picture.
Yes, I mean, these people are just trying to, get free stuff when they come here. They're struggling in stuff, Tom.
Well,
in other countries,
they got a right to a lunch.
A decent lunch, Tom. Not just a lunch.
Oh yeah, that's right.
A decent lunch, because you can just give people like anything and it could be a lunch. But no,
couple of
right
these
here.
kids, I bet you their parents are grilling up some
right
cats.
The amendment. Right here. It's the amendment says decent lunch. Decent lunch. Ridiculous. Jeez, oh man. All right. On to more ridiculousness. So there's some complaints about the big, beautiful bill, Tom. I know it's shocking. I mean, I have some complaints about the big, beautiful bill. So
I read this. I read this article. This is from Scene Magazine. Good. It's called "Big Beautiful Bill Makes Medicaid a Big Ugly Mess in Ohio and Across America." And then, is this the one that does this go into how much an apartment costs to rent? No. Okay. I got this mixed up with something else. Never mind. Sorry.
I think I did read that story though too. No, this is what kind of caught me was a couple of the, obviously I'm reading through the story, going through quotes, but he starts the, who's this? This is Scene Magazine, Rob Moore. And he starts it out with, he attended the Society for Benefit Cost Analysis in Washington, D.C. in 2019 with a keynote speaker of Cass Sunstein. Oh, Cass Sunstein. Who's Cass Sunstein? Nobody probably remembers Cass Sunstein. He was administrator for the Office of Information and Regulatory Affairs under President Obama. He's the author of many books, one of them called Nudge. What's Nudge?
What's Nudge?
Nudge, pull it up, examples. Nudge is a book that he wrote about, here it is, about nudge theory. And nudge theory is a concept in behavioral economics and politics, suggests that positive reinforcement could suggest can influence behavioral decision making of groups and individuals. So, what are some examples of nudge? Well, let's see. Examples of nudge. Let's say sending a text or email reminder for doctor's appointments to reduce missed appointments. Okay. Organ donation. How would you nudge in that? Well, you would make organ donation an opt-out rather than an opt-in system, significantly increasing donation rates. Huh. Okay, how about another one? What could be vaccine campaigns? Framing vaccination in a way to protect oneself and others, or highlighting the number of people in a particular age group who have been vaccinated. It's manipulating. He wrote a book on how to manipulate people. And it's I guess used all over the place. Now, I don't think this is like a novel concept that he came up with, but he put it in a book and pushed it out there. And it was used many times, they would say, during the Obama administration to kind of nudge the public into one way or the other. And I think the media uses this kind of tactic all the time. So, not to get off on too much of a tangent, which I already did. What is he talking about here? So, he's talking about, he gives in this article and in Cass Sunstein's keynote, he talks about the phenomenon called sludge. And sludge is how much time it costs how much time costs are exacted by the government on individuals through paperwork. So sludge is basically how hard it is to get free money from the government.
Mm-hmm.
And he believes that the big beautiful bill was meant to put all this extra paperwork involved to kick people off of Medicaid, Medicare.
Was it to kick people off or to actually make it harder to apply?
Well, yeah, harder to apply, but it with some of these provisions, you have to continually justify it.
Right. Okay.
And if you don't know how, you will fall. Work requirements was one of the things that they had said that when work requirements for Medicaid enrollment were put into place in Arkansas during the first Trump administration, most of the people who lost their health insurance were people who were working but did not know how to comply with the new requirements for reporting that had been put in place. Oh, I'm sorry. We're trying to do checks and balances, and I guess so what, do we need somebody to now go there and help them fill out the paperwork? So
they're too lazy to work and they're too lazy to read and fill out some paperwork.
Too lazy. Yeah, I was thinking more like too stupid to figure it out. But you might be right. It might just be laziness.
I think I don't know. A lot of that's laziness.
Yeah.
I've never seen paperwork. Well, I guess it gets confusing. I mean, I've seen some that gets pretty involved, but I can't imagine it being that hard.
No, but some of these, no, you just have to pay attention to what's going on and not just automatically think that this check is going to keep coming.
Right.
And also there's checks there. You have to continually, they want to put random checks on Medicare and you have to prove that you're working. And they're saying all these things will get people less likely to enroll. Yes. It should. How easy should it be to get free stuff?
Well, you got to turn off the game console once in a while.
What I mean, what I know is this what doesn't make sense. So this basically lets them be lazy, but yet they're too lazy to continue it.
Right.
In a lot of cases, not every case. So in Ohio, it says the Center for Community Solutions said in analysis that an enrollment loss could be as high as 450,000 people.
Give me a hell yeah!
All right, good. That's. I mean, I don't want people to be thrown off these safety nets. I want them to be weeded out. The people that don't belong on them shouldn't be on them. And making it a little bit harder seems to be a good idea to me.
I don't know. Just to let people know. Sometimes we sound a little harsh. We want there to be a safety net, but we just want people to respect it, I guess.
Yeah.
I want there to be a safety net. At least I do. I just don't want it to be I guess a way of life.
I would like there to be a safety net. I just don't think we're responsible enough to have one because human nature takes advantage of everything at every time.
Right.
And without checks and balances, it gets out of hand.
Okay.
Yeah, I see my thing is I just don't think we're good at it.
I just think it's important because it's like people do need help sometimes. I mean, I've never needed it. I have friends that have gone on it, but they've always, got back up on their feet and got jobs or, got back to doing their thing. But it's the folk that, rely on it. It's a lifestyle. Those are the ones that bother me.
People ask me all the time, how can people get away with not working? You have all these numbers that come out like under, people that are off. They show unemployment numbers, and then you don't count the people who have given up work, looking for work.
Yesterday I went to an event, like a family event, and there's a couple people there that I know that they can work. They choose not to.
Mm-hmm.
And they're good people to a point. I mean, they're kind, they're respectful, but boy, you ask them like, what are they doing for a living? They just don't want to work, and they get away with it. It's been a career for them.
Yeah, to your point, I can see how that happens. I've seen it happen to myself. You get laid off from a job, and you're like, I'm going to go find another job. You know what? And then 3 or 4 weeks go by, you start getting used to getting up late, and you look for less jobs. You stop job hunting, and before you know it, 2 or 3 months have gone by, and you haven't even opened up a paper. I was about to say a paper, but you haven't even looked for a job or anything like that. I get it. You can get stuck in that rut.
I understand. It's just, I don't understand I guess what I don't get is these are adults that have never really had a job. And I don't know, like basically living in their mom's basement, parents' basement. And I don't know how, like, you didn't want anything more in life. That's what I don't get. Like, you have no drive no ambition to do anything.
Pride.
Pardon me?
Pride.
Yeah. Well, it's like, don't you want to meet a girl or a guy? I mean, to have companionship, to raise a family, to own your own property. They look at things and go, yeah, I'd like to have that. That's sweet. But they don't even have the ambition to go out and get a job to earn that.
Yes. And the best way to combat that is necessity. Because if you're still being handheld by mommy and daddy,
well, or the government
too, mommy and dad. Yeah, it's the best way to get rid of that sludge, if you want to call it that.
Yeah,
to use their term, is to force them into it. Is to, hey, guess what? You're out of the house now. You have to pay your own. Now what are you going to do?
It's
tough love. Tough love sometimes.
I understand that. If you never, I get what you're saying. Like, you do that to your lazy 21-year-old that doesn't want to get out of the basement. Get them the hell out, get a job, get your own place. But when they're in their 50s or 40s or whatever, that person has definitely chosen to live that life. And I don't know how you even look at yourself in the mirror.
Yeah, I see it more and more.
Bizarre.
I think. And that's what I'm trying to push is tough love.
Yeah.
If you can work, then work. You'll get rewarded for it. You'll get paid for it, but it gives you something to do. Maybe you won't turn into a humongously overweight Gila monster sitting on the couch all day.
Well, you know what? It's like, I hate my job. I can't stand going in daily. I freaking hate it, but
yeah,
it's what you do. I want to pay my bills. There's a guitar I like. I want to work for it and get it, or if you want, there's a car you like, or if you want to get a new set of golf clubs, or it's like, you just fucking go to work and do it, man. Suck it up.
I agree. And I think more and more, I don't know, I see the opposite of that. I see people, and I could tell, because I could felt myself doing this at times when I was unemployed years ago. You get used to where you're living, and you accept it. You're making your bills. You're not getting ahead, but you accept it, and the laziness kicks in. And I see that to this day. I see people leave one job, go to another one, making a lot more money. But then I catch up with them later, or hear, hey, how's this person doing at this other job? And they say, well, they're kind of a problem. Like, what do you mean? Well, they work 3 days a week.
Yeah, we get a lot of that too at our place.
Because they've increased their dollar amount hourly. So now they don't have to work as many hours to make the same money they made at the previous place. So instead of getting ahead.
Right.
To me, that's where the stupidness comes. That's stupid, not necessarily easy.
But it is so fun. It's so weird because, like, when I owned a previous business and I worked with younger people, and there were people that I would expect to be like that I was like, oh yeah, this is just a lazy young person. But no, they're like totally opposite. They just hustle, and they just like they have a drive. Like they won't take handouts. They just want to keep working and advancing, and I don't like, how does that make, when does that happen? Like, how does one be one and the other be the other? Like, how does one be so driven and one be so
There's a lot
lazy?
to do with that, I think. Upbringing,
Maybe.
examples in your life that you had when you were a kid. If you watch your parents be lazy, then that's the example that you know.
Yeah.
If you watch your parents go to work every day, then you'll more not guaranteed, of course, but you have a much more of a chance of being, reliable and dependable and stuff like that.
Yeah. I've been surprised both ways, actually. People that I thought would be driven and the ones that I thought would be lazy are like totally driven. It's weird.
Yeah, it's a good. It's can't judge a book by its cover, I guess.
That's for sure.
All right, on to speaking of work and workers, and how I'm wondering how they're doing what they're doing is Jergens Inc. Got a story here about the made in Cleveland. The local factory grows as companies shift back to U.S. manufacturing.
I saw this.
Got a clip here from News Channel 5, ABC News Channel 5, and let's check it out. So, yeah, this is Jergens Manufacturing, and let's see what they had to say.
In April, Jergens Incorporated was moving forward with plans to double down on Cleveland, bringing their California operations and jobs here.
So 3 months later, News 5's Elizabeth Van Mitri went back to check in and see how tariffs are impacting manufacturing across Northeast Ohio.
In the last 3 months, things have changed at Jergens Inc. The once empty space Jack Schron, the president of Jergens, walked us through in April, is now filled with more advanced equipment.
All this equipment was in California in April. It's all now here.
Products that were once partially sourced from outside the U.S. are now fully manufactured on U.S. soil.
These are the most precise electric screwdriver. They're being made right here in Cleveland, Ohio. They're not being made anyplace else in the world.
Today, the factory is buzzing. New employees, some relocated from the company's California operations, are now walking the floor.
I think manufacturing is alive and well, coming back strong.
Back in April, President Donald Trump made his tariff announcement, and he framed it as a way to bring manufacturing and jobs back into the United States. Since then, major companies, including Johnson & Johnson, Abbott Laboratories, Apple, and Chobani have pledged to expand operations on U.S. soil. Tron has witnessed the evolution of the industry firsthand.
This room we're sitting in, we're looking at 84 years worth of manufacturing history. It had peaks and valleys, but right now we are at the process, I believe, of coming right up to that peak.
He says the renewed interest in domestic manufacturing speaks volumes.
Today, I think you're seeing it re-energized in Northeastern Ohio. There's no doubt.
For News 5, I'm Elizabeth Van Mitri.
So love that story.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Electric screwdrivers being made in Cleveland, Ohio, in Northeastern Ohio.
Those look like pretty
yeah, they did.
Sophisticated electric screwdrivers.
Yeah, they looked pretty cool. I wanted to look into what those were because it looked pretty cool as a gadget.
I'm wondering if those were like for medical or something.
It was like it looked like all made out of all metal or something like that, like aluminum. Is pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty awesome looking. So
there's a couple things there. One, that the whole tariff thing, and News Channel 5, kudos to you for bringing up a positive story up for tariffs, because I haven't seen many of those come across. But also, he moved from California to Ohio.
Oh, I wonder why.
Yeah. Gee, I wonder. I think this goes back to some of the stuff in this last budget, making Ohio more inviting for businesses to get those California or Illinois, New York, where they've got high taxes, high regulatory, and bring them in here.
Mm-hmm.
Now we go back to the last story and it's like, who the hell are they going to have work there? I'm not sure yet, because that's a problem in itself. But hey, that's a good problem, right?
they could have transplanted some people, and
Hopefully
they're not going to vote like a typical Californian.
There's that. Don't California my Ohio.
Yeah. But they'll find people. If you pay, you'll find people.
There you go. Yes.
This story was nice to see because our manufacturing plant is struggling right now because of tariffs. Well, they blame it on tariffs, but I blame it more on a lack of vision. Put it that way. But
so tariffs would hurt you guys?
Yeah, we sell a lot to Mexico and Canada.
Oh, okay.
So
Gotcha.
The tariffs that Mexico and Canada are putting on our products is hurting us.
Gotcha.
So there's that tariff war, a little bit of a tariff war going on. It's slowed us down a lot. But I think that's a lack of vision and a lack of
adaptation.
Yeah, you know what? Our company's been around for a very long time, longer than Juergen's, over 100 years. And I think they've been relying on certain business and focusing on, they've been trying to get different business, but not it's, I don't want to say too
enough. Yeah, no,
not diversified enough. And you know what? Lack of vision and lack of a nutsack to grow.
Take a chance.
Yeah.
Take a chance. Risky.
Yeah.
Scary. That usually defines, a business.
Yeah.
But good. I mean, I like
this is nice to see,
Yeah. I'm seeing more of this coming in my line of work too. So,
good.
Or this kind of building and remodeling old factories, repurposing old factories and that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, I mean that's good for me. If my company doesn't want to grow or it just doesn't take advantage of what's going on, then this will allow me to go wherever whoever's paying.
So you know what the solution to that is?
What's
what
that?
We're just talking about. So I'm saying, hey, this is great. Pay your workers. I think it's harder to find good employees because there's a lot of bad ones out there, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But what's the solution? Well, I would say you need help with manufacturing in America. Let's find some good, hardworking, legal immigrants.
You got that, or you can actually manufacturing industry has been, since the mid '90s has gone downhill mainly. You've lost workers, I should say, because the growth in wages has been stagnant. We've gone backwards. It used to be a job where you can leave high school, kind of train for a few years, and you could be making some, you could be raising a family on that wage. Not anymore.
Right.
So that needs to change.
Yeah.
Right. And you'll get people wanting to do that job because it's not a bad job. It really isn't. I complain about it, but I'll complain about anything I'm doing that's for somebody else.
Right. So what helps keep wages up? Legal immigration. What keeps wages down and suppressed? Illegal immigration.
Yeah.
So,
okay. I mean, yes.
That's what America's been doing for generations. Is the factory workers were the immigrants. They were the Irish. They were the Italians. They were the Polish, and so on and so forth. We just need to continue that.
What I'm saying is, like, a lot of the manufacturing went to different,
Sure. Yeah.
And it just locked up the wage growth, since NAFTA, basically since the mid '90s.
Right. Agreed.
And nobody wants to do it. So how, I don't know how you,
right.
So they figured out ways to hire people that just know how to push a button and don't know how to actually machine or figure out.
Right. I'm not raising my kids to work. I'm raising them to work at a better place than I do, but somebody else has, and that's what most Americans do. That's just
yeah, of course,
what parents do. But those people coming in who are hungry to build that family and that wealth, that generational wealth, that's who usually does those jobs. Mm-hmm. And I think there's plenty of them coming back, and we need it. We need the labor.
Yeah,
there's a huge labor shortage out there. There's a huge opportunity for anybody who wants to apply themselves and care just a little bit, huge opportunities out there for you in the construction industry and manufacturing. All right. Enough of that one. Let's move on to our next story, which is Youngstown Lifeguard Academy. Now, Tom's probably thinking, why has he got lifeguard? Why? No. So sometimes I see stories that it's really not the story that interests me, but it's something the story represents, and that's what this is. And this story is Youngstown Lifeguard Academy, who was denied funding under our new state budget.
How much, Rob?
$500,000.
Holy!
But you got to ask me the next question. For what?
Okay, for what?
They want to train lifeguards.
Yeah.
Right now, so they have the academy was founded in 2019 to provide employment to local teens. Okay, that's good. And make sure the North Side Pool had staff to open every summer. So they want to make sure that their school in Youngstown, their pool in Youngstown, North Side Pool has lifeguards. Okay?
They needed $500,000 for that?
Well, that is the unclear part. That as I'm reading through the story a couple times, I'm going, what are they working on now? Because they wanted $500,000 of new money to expand the program. The academy planned to recruit 60 new lifeguards for all of Mahoning Valley, not just Youngstown. However,
still seems like a lot.
Yes, it does. And so I think here's maybe a key point here. The quote from Kevin Tarpley, the founder of the Youngstown Lifeguard Academy, says, "This fall, the academy is going to scale back. We have to give up our training facility and our administrative offices."
Say that again?
They're going to have to give up their training facility and their administrative offices. And we will focus on the 10 current lifeguards that they have and that need recertification.
So they needed, what would that be? $10,000 per extra,
$8,000 or $9,000 per to do 500,000 over 60 lifeguards is like 6,000 or 8,000. I forget I did the math, but yeah, it's $8,000 or $9,000 per student
for a public pool lifeguard. You needed basically $8,000 to $10,000 to train. That's something.
Yeah, it seems like a lot, but I'm not even that far yet, Tom.
Okay.
What I'm stuck on is they have a training facility and administrative offices before they had the 500,000.
Right.
For 10 lifeguards. Is what I see here. Because they want to scale this back to focus on the current 10 they have to get them recertified for this year so that at least that one pool has lifeguards. They wanted the $500,000 to expand it to 60.
You know what? My neighbor just put a pool in. I bet you I could do it for half price.
Yeah. Stand by the pool, push him in, swim. No, I'm just kidding. So Tarpley says the academy has just enough money to fund its training over the next year. He says, unless an angel comes in to their rescue, the city will once again have to do its own lifeguard recruiting, Tom.
Well, I pray that angel strikes them down.
Oh my gosh. So again, so this is what I've been preaching for quite some time is to fix the problems we have, to fix our country, to make it more prosperous than it even already is, and to get it off its, in my opinion, downward spiral that we've been in. Some of the solutions to fix our country, both morally and financially, are mostly choices that when it comes down to it, most of us are not willing to make. This includes cuts to services, although very convenient, maybe not sustainable at these current levels. This is the things that I always bring up, that what I fight for, what we fight for, what you and I mostly agree on, most of it is choices, hard choices that we have to make. Choices that people don't want to cut lifeguards. Well, maybe you need to charge a cover at the pool. Maybe you need to increase the pool, whatever you charge to get in the pool or whatever else. Because why does the state need to give you $500,000 to do 60 lifeguards? Do you not have enough people paying on the pool? Is it the public pools? I think they cost money, don't they? A lot of situations they do.
I don't know. I've never been to a public pool. I don't think they do.
Well, like, for example, if you have a community center, like
I think if you're a resident of that community, it doesn't. It's free. I think, like over here locally, but close to you. I think that pool. Yep. I think that pool. If you want to go there because you're a neighboring community, you have to pay a membership fee, which it might be worth it because that's a nice park. But I don't think the residents have to.
It depends, because I do remember I worked for a person. They just built. This was years ago. Small business. They just built a new, what do they call them? Community center. And they had a pool in it, and it was a discounted rate for the
right. Okay,
the city's citizens. Yeah,
I would say every community does that differently.
It's a little different. Sure, I just don't. I'm thinking like this is not that. This is just the community pool. That I think there's a pass or something. You have to do something and pay a little bit of money. Anyway, regardless, it's different everywhere. Yes. I guess my point though is, I cut until it hurts and then cut some more.
Yeah, I mean, this is a, I don't know, it's silly.
It's a no-brainer to me. It seems like do you need a administrative office and a training facility? So the training facility is probably a pool of some sorts. So
why do you need that much money for a community, like
for 10 lifeguards?
Yeah, I mean, like, why does? I don't see why anybody's getting taxed on this, except for like the only people that should be taxed on this, if you want to go there, is the local community,
right?
But
it's easier. It's much easier and much better to beg the state for it.
Yeah,
that way you don't have to ask the taxpayers to pony up another 0.5% to go swimming.
Yeah, this is what makes me sick.
Yeah,
I mean, this is Youngstown. Imagine what other communities are doing too.
Yes. I get it. I don't want to shut down the pools, but it doesn't seem like it's feasible to keep them open if you have to keep begging and borrowing and stealing to get it. Obviously not stealing, that's hyperbolic, but I mean, if you have to keep begging or robbing, hey, can you give then maybe it's not feasible in your area. Maybe there's not enough interest in a public pool.
Suck it, Youngstown.
Crookedrivercast@gmail.com. All right. So again, like, it's just, I get it. It doesn't feel good, but it's not sustainable at current levels. We have to cut. We have to stop somewhere. And if you disagree, check us out at crookedrivercast.com.
If you disagree, suck it.
I could be known. It could be a little harsh on that one, but I'm good with it.
Oh, I got to turn that off.
Yeah. Right. On to the next story, Thomas. This one's an interesting one. This one might raise some eyebrows. So we had talked about a couple weeks ago when they had some shootings, and there's some Congress people. Was it Minnesota who got? I think it was Minnesota or Minneapolis, something like that. And we had mentioned a couple of things that have happened in Ohio recently as far as threatening of politicians. One of them was Max Miller.
Mm-hmm.
So a story came out that they've actually got some released photos and text messages. Well, I imagine text messages. I shouldn't say that, but there's some video out. Let's put it that way. I got a clip from the video about what happened, and it's a kind of something, maybe a lesson on what not to do when you see a congressperson, when you're driving.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out how you even spotted him looking at this video. But let's
the thing is, Max Miller is not the most a recognizable person either.
No, he looks very much just like a
regular guy.
Yeah. So
I mean, he would be hard to spot unless you're like being weird and following him,
like filming him as you drive.
Yeah, like a little obsessed with something,
like filming your harassment for the cops. Right, that's the things not to do. Like I was saying. Yeah. Well, here, let's listen to this is News 9 ABC News 9 station, and here's their report.
Miller, who is Jewish, alleged in June that Dr. Faris Hamdan threatened to kill him and tried to run him off the road. The newly released cell phone video shot by Hamdan himself shows him yelling at the congressman and using homophobic and anti-Semitic slurs.
Hold on. Okay, sorry.
What was his name?
Oh,
Hamdung?
Well, I'm not going to try to pronounce it. Wait, what is it?
I'm trying to see it in the report here.
Hamdan.
Oh, it
Hamdan.
Hamdung. That's what it sounded like.
Can I catch it? Let's see.
Himself shows him yelling at to run him off the road. The newly released cell phone video shot by Hamdan himself shows him yelling at the congressman and using homophobic and anti-Semitic slurs.
This is the congressman, that piece of congressman that's against Palestine. That's crazy.
What?
That's crazy.
Say it again.
That's crazy. This racist Jewish, he can't even look at me. He knows I'm recording him.
Cleveland.
Or he's driving.
By the way, he was looking at him too. And he's driving next to him. There's a little bit more.
Look at me. He knows I'm recording him.
Cleveland.com filed a Freedom of Information request to release the trove of documents, which also include the 911 call, police interview with Miller, the police report, search warrants, and dozens of videos, including Tesla footage of Hamdan getting into the company vehicle prior to the incident. The 911 dispatcher acknowledging in the report that she could hear honking and commotion, and recalls Miller stating that Hamdan was making threats towards his family and calling him a, quote, dirty Jew. Miller later recounted the incident to police in this video just released.
So yes, what happened? What happened to anyway? So there is now a he said she said. Who do you think was the aggressor here? There's more to this too. I want to finish it, but who do you think's the aggressor here? I wonder. I
mean, he filmed it himself.
Palestine. This Hamdan. Let's continue.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
That's crazy. I was like, whoa, yeah, you are crazy. It sounds like you're really trying to control yourself here, but the ending's even the best part.
Hey, I'm trying to ignore him, then all of a sudden...
The incident to police in this video just released.
Hey, I'm trying to ignore him, then all of a sudden he goes this with his vehicle a little bit, and it jars me. And it does, I'm not going to lie. I got a little scared. And he put his cell phone towards the window, and it was a Palestinian flag. And I said, okay, well, now I'm figuring this out pretty quick. So the windows are down, and he's just screaming at me at the top of his lungs saying that he wants to kill me. And he knows who I am, and he knows
that's
where
on
I live.
video.
Hamdan has been indicted on 1 count of ethnic intimidation, 1 count of tampering with evidence, 1 count of aggravated menacing, and 1 count of menacing. But Hamdan's attorney paints an entirely different picture. Telling Scripps News the video simply shows Hamdan recognizing the congressman and having a passionate exchange disagreeing with his policies.
You know, there's some lawyers just need to... Oh, attorney Isa Al-Khatib.
Yeah, good.
Okay. Okay, I get it. Wait, I see where this is going. Okay.
Well, I mean, I know he's starting to say that Miller swerved at him. So how?
But he filmed it.
Yes, but he filmed everything, and they said they have a video of him calling racial and homophobic slurs. Because is Max Miller gay? I didn't think he is. So if somebody rolls up next to you with their phone filming you, not even a congressperson.
All Congress people are gay.
Well,
just a thought.
Just good point. But even not as a congressperson or a state legislature or anything, if someone rolls up next to you in your car on the freeway, it looks like this was on the freeway, and they're filming you with their camera, that seems threatening to me, no? Like it's like what are you trying to prove here with filming me? You trying to get my picture of my face so that you can find out who I am, kind of thing. So I think right off the bat, that's a threatening posture. Does that make sense?
Technically, is it threatening? Probably not. But
no, I'm not saying.
I would feel uneasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That is not.
I maybe one of my hands would start moving towards my my piece.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. Because and then he puts a Palestinian flag up against the window.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So I'm not sure what
that's already like that's really making you uneasy if you're a congressman. I mean, if somebody did it to me, I'd be like, "Move away, fool."
Yeah.
But a congressman, man, yeah,
especially congressmen. I think they. I just don't. I like the comment. He wishes he wasn't so passionate. Yeah, or filmed it.
He wishes he wasn't retarded.
And they did, that was called throwing the book at him. Like, so what's tampering evidence? What were you trying to delete off your phone?
It would have been great if he live, what is that called when you live?
Oh, live streamed it, yeah.
Or live streamed. This is crazy, man.
Palestine. All right, and so they're going to continue on. Yeah, they're going to continue that. They're trying to subpoena Max Miller's records because they're saying he was the aggressor. So we'll see. But I think we know who the aggressor was here.
Yeah, that's silly.
Moving on to more silliness, as you say. This is a story we had, I think, from last week, and we pushed it into this week because we didn't have time. But I do not want to skip it again because it's a pretty good story. It is about a Brownhelm Township, which is, by my estimates, Lorain County. So it's east of Lorain, but not quite to Sandusky.
Oh, I never heard of that. Oh, it's that far west?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just west of Lorain, the city of Lorain, and not quite Port Clinton area or anything. But so what happened is, I have a clip, so we'll check out the clip and then move from there.
19's Noelle Williams breaks down what's happening.
Would you want this tower next to your property? Probably not. Neither do several Brownhelm Township property owners. But they say that choice was made for them, especially Reese and Krista Tassone. They tell me they woke up one day in May and the tower was being built. Now they want it gone.
We saw a tower being built, just feet away from our property line. We had to really do some digging to figure out what it even was.
19 troubleshooters got answers. It turns out just 7 feet and 10 inches away from the couple's property is a telecommunications tower. It's a part of the Ohio's multi-agency radio communication system. It's one of 3 new towers being built across Lorain County. 7 additional towers are receiving upgrades. This one is set to reach 350 feet high and on land owned by the Northern Ohio Rural Water. But why here? Nearby neighbor Jay Strauss says if residents have to follow rules, so should everyone else.
I was putting up a pole barn in my backyard and was told I couldn't get a permit. I had to be 100 feet and I was only 82 feet. Yet they can put a tower 8 foot from their property line.
19 troubleshooters had a lot of calls to make. We started with the township trustees. I received this statement. In part, it reads, the county cut the township out of the project and followed Ohio Revised Code 519.211.
Not our fault.
All township officials will have no further comment at this time. So then I reached out to Lorain County Commissioner Jim Riddell. He tells me the land was handpicked by engineers and assured to be safe. However, he also adds that the county has been in communication over the past year with the township, and that it's the township responsibility to inform nearby property owners. The plans were put on the township's agenda and open to discussion. However, the revised code states that any person who plans to construct a telecommunications tower within 100 feet of a residential dwelling shall provide a written notice to the owner. These property owners say that never happened. I also reached out to the states. We're still waiting to learn if the tower could or will come down.
It ain't going anywhere. It's a third of it's already up. Looks like.
I'll tell you what, that would infuriate me. I am, we've been looking, my wife and I have been looking for property for a while. And one of the things that really just kind of is a detractor when we look at a property. I mean, if we, we check it out on the Google Maps and all that, and if we see any sign of electrical lines or any type of large towers or, the cell phone towers and all that, that's like an automatic no to us. Or, so that drops property value down so much, man.
Yeah. And one of the ways they're getting around this is this house is already next to the Ohio Rural Water or whatever they called it. And there's a water tower on that property. So it made perfect sense for them to put something else on that property because they don't have to buy it. They just pay whatever to the. So they already have a water tower. It's in the images. It's a lot farther away than this. This tower is literally right next to their. I mean, it's 10 feet away from their fence.
If I have like 10, 20 acres and there's a water tower in the distance, that probably, I don't think that would bother me as much as electrical lines. Or any type of radio tower or cell tower.
350-foot tower.
Yeah, dude, that is like, man, you're walking back to you can't even build a pole barn, and this guy's putting a 350-foot thing, and let's say you build a smaller, pole barn or shed or whatever, and you're walking back there, and you got this thing that's just, no pun intended, towering over you and making you feel like it's about to fall over on you.
And it's massive. I mean, 350 feet, the base is massive, and the foundations are literally 10 feet, less than 10 feet from their property line, 10 feet from their fence.
No. That would, oh my God, I can't even imagine that happening. You move to a place and 5 years down the road, somebody's doing that.
Shame on them, city council. Shame on them. They're not city council. They're township.
They're pigs.
Members.
They're pigs.
They're like, not our fault.
Not our problem.
No, but you knew it was coming. You had to have known it was coming, and you didn't make a stink about it. Maybe because you didn't think it was a big deal. I would also say part of this responsibility is on the residents to know what the hell's going on in their county and state and city and all that stuff. It pays to know, because it seemed like it was brought up at some city council meetings, and or whatever meeting. They're not. I keep calling them city council. You know what I mean? There were meetings, agendas written for this. It sucks, but
I bet you that's not even like a good health. It's not even healthy with that thing next year like that.
Yeah, you could easily make that argument with all radio waves and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, because there's studies, even like power lines that are closer than 900 feet to your property can cause migraines and things like that.
Yeah, Well, you talk about all the Wi-Fi and everything we have, and
that's bad enough.
Sleep deprivation, and that's just the same thing. Wi-Fi is just a radio frequency, so it's similar to this, and that's probably what they're putting on there. This is a lot of cities get away with this. They put them on flagpoles and stuff. Some of this is for communication between the city, but this seems like a radio tower. Go 350 feet up.
Yeah, no, that's
huge.
It's awful.
I mean, I went on the Millennium Force. That's only 310 feet. I mean, I'd kill for a 350-foot roller coaster in my backyard, but not a tower.
Yeah, I wouldn't want a roller coaster in my backyard. They'd be messed up too, man.
I know, the lines and everything and the trash. So, I guess there's a lesson is, I guess you got to be vigilant, keep track of what's going on in your city. It's not easy. That's kind of one of the reasons we started doing this show was to get more involved with what's going on locally instead of nationally. This is more local than what we're talking about, but
I don't know. I don't know how the neighbors didn't, I don't know. I didn't look at the map or anything, how this guy's property is set, but I don't know how the residents.
They were there drilling the foundations probably weeks or months before the tower went up.
Yeah. there could be a lack. There could have been a lack of caring. I don't know.
I'm really leaning on the city or the township council, whatever they call them, because they're the ones who need to. Hey, this is what's going on. Just so you know, you need to send out flyers. You need to. I mean, it's not that kind of stuff. That's what you're there for. We put you in place so we don't have to pay attention to every single little thing like this.
You might want to check that guy's pole barn. He might be like welding up a bulldozer with a bunch of armor plates. Because I think I would be.
Yes, do it now before it gets too high, because it maybe only hit one or two houses, and we should take it out instead of all of them. All right,
then move on to the water reserve there.
Oh no, we gotta keep. That's actually convenient if you can tap into it.
That's true.
Get some free water.
Yeah, screw it. I got my own well.
There you go. Yeah. All right. We got one more coming up here. This one's a good one, I think. I was looking forward to this story. This is street takeover conviction.
Is this like a fofo story?
Fofo story? What do you mean?
F around, find out?
Oh, yes. Sorry, yes. Fafo. Fafo? Yeah, I think that's...
Oh, Fafo. Yeah, that's
Fafo.
Okay.
All yes, right, it's early. This is definitely a Fafo, for sure. I got a clip, and let's go through it. So this street takeovers we had some, I think last year they had some in Cleveland, and all around Cleveland. There's multiple ones. So they arrested a Port Clinton woman, and she is now going to prison.
What's a Port Clinton woman doing around here?
Good question. Good question. Organizing street takeovers is what it sounds like by the story. So we're here what News Channel 5 again has ABC News Channel 5.
A Port Clinton woman is going to prison for taking part in street takeovers that paralyzed the city of Cleveland.
This was last September. You remember when cars did donuts around police vehicles, people shot airsoft guns at officers, and shot off fireworks in intersections. Even Interstate 90 was shut down where a party bus was attacked. Well, today a judge sentenced 23-year-old Ashlyn Rogers to 2.5 years total. We want to bring now in News 5 investigator Tara Morgan. She has covered these takeovers extensively for us. Tara, you were in the newsroom, in the courtroom today.
Rogers wouldn't look at the evidence the prosecution showed, including videos and text messages from her own cell phone. They illustrated a pattern by Rogers in the days prior when she was at other takeovers. Last September 28th, the prosecutor says Rogers used her Instagram account to post rules, locations, and to direct others to illegal activity. She was also either a spectator or blocking intersections. Her defense attorney said real consequences for felony guilty pleas will far outlast the sentence given to her.
Yes, they
Rogers
will.
Put her head in her hands when a judge gave her a sentence, 18 months for disrupting public service and 12 months for aggravated riot. She also must forfeit her car, a 2020 Infiniti Q50. And since the sentences will be served concurrently, she'll spend 1.5 years in prison.
Dad's pissed.
Oh, I think she's going to do really well in prison. I think they're going to like her.
I think you're right. I think she's going to find out whether she's a badass or not. Real quick.
She's a decent looking, slight white girl.
Yes.
I think Shaniqua's going to like her.
Mm-hmm. She should be. Hope she is taking up the chance right now before she goes in to watch the documentary series "Orange Is the New Black." That'll really help her out on Netflix.
She's probably going to go to I would think a low security type of prison.
Yes,
no?
she's not a hardened criminal, but I saw this as a big win because they threw the book at her and they made. I think they could have done worse, but
I think she could have got more.
Yeah. Well, she got a break by doing concurrent instead of doing 2.5 years. She's doing 1.5. So they could have gotten worse. They probably could have extended that up to more years. But instead of just giving her probation, like I think in the past it might have happened, I think they're trying to make an example of her to stop this.
Yeah, it was a disruption. That's for sure.
Yes.
Oh, I wonder what made her do that.
She cool, man.
I guess, but like from Port Clinton to Cleveland. Was it like status online?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I would think, yeah. I mean, I think that's...
that's even dumber than... I mean, that's dumb.
That's about as dumb as recording you harassing a congressperson.
Yeah, just about. I mean,
Yeah.
you're going to get caught.
Oh, for certain. I mean, they got pictures of her at these events with a mask on.
Right,
They got
right.
pictures of her car blocking traffic.
And she's not really trying to... She's got a mask on, but you could still tell it's her.
Yeah, exactly. You could still...
she wasn't too bright.
So I thought, and that came through my head, across my head when I was looking through this. So this is disruptive. I get it. And this would drive me nuts, and I'm not quite sure how I would handle it. But how much different is this than, I used to hear back in the 60s or 50s, they used to do drag racing on streets. They would shut the street down to drag race. Similar to that, no?
I don't remember streets being shut down. I know here in Cleveland back in the day, they would have drag racing like at Quigley, which was pretty much a street that wasn't used.
So they didn't do it downtown.
No. Not that I know of. I mean, it was Quigley, which is like I think that's like around where Steelyard Commons are now.
Yeah, I think it's down underneath all the freeways down there and stuff.
Yeah. And it was a street that wasn't used at night.
Not
so they would
very much.
Yeah, so it was. Yeah, they'd shut it down, but it wasn't a street that was used during the day. It was maybe, but not at night.
And also, I would say they threw that little bit in there about the I-90 that got shut down and the party bus that got attacked. That's where I was kind of going. It's like, yeah, I think they were there doing drag races and did fights break out? I'm sure back in the day, but did they start attacking no, and they weren't doing it for the same reasons.
No, Quigley was definitely like
it's different. Yeah.
You built a car, you would go somewhere to show it off, and you'd place bets. It was I don't think it was. I think it slowly became kind of a gang thing, but I think back in the 60s and 70s when it was like you'd have your 74 Nova. This is kind of funny. A guy my dad worked with, he had like a 73 Nova, I think, or 74, something like that. Maybe a 72. Yeah, about a 72. And they had a 6-cylinder in it, right? Well, they'd be like, well, we'll meet you at Quigley in an hour or, wherever. And they'd go home and they swap it out with an 8-cylinder real quick. And then they show up to race.
Nice.
So they won a lot of money like that. And people would be like, what the hell? And then people got smart and started saying, hey, I want to take a look under the hood.
Well, they were also doing it for that reason. This is particularly just to disrupt traffic and be a pain in the butt. That's the only reason they're doing this. I think it's fun to disrupt traffic and delay people from going to their locations and so on. Oh, and like ambulances and fire and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, good. You kind of had to come in and, I hope this story gets out there and it stops one or two of them, because when you get the crowd of people like this, especially young kids, and then, like I said, in the 90s, they started harassing and attacking a party bus. That's a totally different thing. That's not a street race. That's called a riot.
Well, yeah, from the videos I saw, this wasn't anything about really racing. This was just about causing chaos, basically.
Yeah. I think it's fun to cause chaos on city streets, and yeah, it can be. But when you FAFO.
Yep.
All right, Tom. We're on to our favorite segment of the show. You know why? Because you know what we do, Tom.
What?
We bring good things to life.
Yeah, we bring good things to life. So first on the good things list this week is a story or a show that I got drawn into by my daughter. So this is a YouTube channel, Ryan Trahan, I believe is his name, and he does YouTube stuff. He does. He's a little wacky. He's very, very good-hearted, very genuine kid. I mean, he's probably approaching 30 at this point, but he's got 21 million subscribers on YouTube, and he does. What did he do last? He did a fundraiser. He does all kinds of stuff. Like, can I get it? Can I start with a penny and get across the country in 30 days?
Oh, okay.
Right. That kind of stuff. Raise money for this and that. He does all. I went to this weird Airbnb let's check it out and this and that. And he does. So what he's doing now is him and his wife, Haley, she has a YouTube channel, which is even better than his because she promotes reading and reviews books. And because of my daughter started watching his channel, now watches her channel and like reading books like crazy now. So pretty good content when you're on YouTube and you have kids and I look at everything very skeptically because most of this, the content that you can see on YouTube is very focused on products, very focused on buying something new, and this is not one of those things. So it's good. So what he's doing is 50 states in 50 days. So the rule is they have to sleep overnight in all 50 states. And they're trying to find the coolest Airbnb in every state. Their goal is to raise $1 million for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. He blew past that like day 11.
Wow.
I checked last night, he was at $6.5 million.
No kidding.
And he's only on day 39.
Sweet.
So he has all these things. He has the biggest thing that you'll see it in this clip, the Wheel of Doom. I think they say it, the Wheel of Doom. So the Wheel of Doom is if you donate $50,000, they open this box up, it flashes, it goes off, and wherever they are, they have to stop, open it up, and spin the wheel, and it has all these penalties on it. Like the current state you're in, you have to drive through the state capital, no matter how far out of the way it is. All these things that try to stop them from sleeping overnight in 50 states in 50 days. All kinds of cool stuff, but YouTubers are promoting it. Companies are jumping on board. Airbnb's, obviously part of it. He does electric e-bikes, which is a company that makes electric. Every day, if he rides it in every state, they donate $10,000. Really good.
Cool. Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
You know what I don't like about this article? They don't mention the name of his YouTube channel or his wife's.
You know what? They don't. You're good. That's a good point.
That's kind of shitty.
Ryan Trahan, I think is the name. It's Trahan is the name.
Yeah.
I think that is the name of his channel.
I can't even, hang on. I'm clicking on the YouTube, but it doesn't even take me there. Yeah. That's
the channel name is Ryan, RyanTrahan. It's Ryan Trahan. Is his channel.
Oh, it's just his name. Okay.
His name. Yeah. And hers, I don't remember. Actually, I don't know.
His wife's name is Haley, but
Haley Trahan.
Trahan. Okay.
So they get to Ohio the other day. That was the episode we were waiting for. They like day 36 or 37. Get to Ohio. So what do you do when you go to Ohio? You go to Bob Evans, right? So he goes to Bob Evans because the day before Bob Evans donated $56,000 to his thing. So he's like, I got to go to Bob Evans. I don't have Bob Evans. They're from Texas.
Yeah. Okay.
So what they run into some locals out in the parking lot, and he asks, what he was always asking locals, what should we do in Ohio? What about Ohio? This and that. Of course, what did they tell him? Well, we'll see. Of course, it'll click. Watch.
Okay, so what do we have to do in Ohio? OH. So if we're in public and we say OH, someone will say IO. Yes. Do it. All right. Okay. We'll do it. There was a Walmart right by Bob Evans, so we're just going to test the whole OHIO theory and also pick up some things probably. No Joyride here, so not picking up Joyride, but we'll probably pick up some stuff. OH.
Is it Walmart?
OH. IO. There we go.
Yeah. So, I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, that's what they're telling me.
I'm going to start doing that just to prove it's not true.
I think in most cases somebody will come back and say IO.
I don't know.
Depends on where you're at.
I don't think some of the people at Walmart know what IO is.
Well, and then just look at the video. The people that actually answered him were a bunch of looked like college age kids, so it made sense.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. Yeah.
But great cause. They may hit 10 million before they're done.
Yeah, they're at what you say 6 something?
6.5 million. That was last night, and
they're about doing 2/3 of the way done.
They're at third. Yeah, they're 2/3. They're now getting to the Midwest or the Western states, the really far drives. They're
going to hit 10 million.
Yeah, I think they're going to hit 10 million, especially towards the end. They're going to get. They still got to get to Alaska and Hawaii. Nobody's quite sure how they're going to get there.
They just wanted 1 million. That's awesome.
Yeah, I thought they were well. I knew as soon as they're going to get way more. He's got 21 million subscribers.
Yeah.
So great story, and just their channels are just It sounds cliche, but they seem very wholesome.
Yeah, well, there's a lack of that out there, so people are hungry for it.
Very hungry for it, and just like I said, just good content for your kids.
Cool.
Next, we have a list of events. We got the Football Hall of Fame 2025 Enrichment Enshrinement Week. Enrichment Week.
That's about as good as me saying fofo.
Fofo. So they starting the week of Friday, July 25th to Sunday, August 3rd. They've got a list of events going on at and around the Rock Hall of Fame, Football Hall of Fame, moron, and all kinds of different events. We'll put it in the show notes. They got, if you haven't been over there lately, they have kind of redone the area over the last few years, and they have actually the Ferris wheel from the IX Center Indoor Amusement Park they used to have there. That is at the Football Hall of Fame.
Oh, cool.
They've got restaurants. They've got all kinds of areas to do activities. They supposedly are supposed to have a water park, but something's not right because it's been 3 years and it's still not built. It's like half.
Did they redo the stadium too?
Yes.
Okay.
They redid the stadium, put some extra suites in.
Nice.
Suites because they have that one game there, big game there every year.
Yeah. There's a lot of out of towners for that.
Yes.
Cool.
And the school, the local high school gets to use that facility.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it's part of their deal from a long time ago. So they got football camps Tuesday, July 29th from 6 to 8. All kinds of events. We'll put a show notes. There's a list of them. Fan Fest. They've got the Hall of Fame game. That's what we were just talking about. Pro football. There's a fashion show, I guess. All kinds of stuff. So we'll put the link in the show notes.
Balloon Classic on Friday 25th. That's kind of cool.
Yes. Balloonists from across the United States. That is pretty cool.
Yeah. And then a tethered balloon rides on the same day on the 26th also. 27th also. Neat. Yeah. I don't know what a tethered balloon ride is, but I'm not doing it.
It's a hot air balloon that's connected.
Yeah, it's hot air and it's in the air. I don't know.
That rope breaks and who knows where you might end up. You might end up in Columbus. And finally is just so you know, coming up, Christmas in July. Woohoo! Yay! Great Lakes Brewing Company is tapping its Christmas ale in July. So
nice.
Starting on, let's see, when is it? I think it's, from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Thursday, July 24th. You'll be able to go in. Doors open at 11 a.m. with freshly tapped Christmas ale. They've got live honey extraction demonstration, a pig roast menu, live music.
They got a pig roast going on. That's nice.
Music from DJ Sayward and some other, what's this? Festive Hop College with brew nuts. Okay. Ticketed event. So check it out. We'll put that in the show notes too. That's a yearly thing for Great Lakes. They save a few kegs for Christmas in July so that you can all sit at the bar and get comatose with the double potency beer that you not normally drink.
Eat some pig and drink some strong beer.
Yeah, that's why the bartenders joke when Christmas ale comes out. All the regulars turn comatose because their regular 4 beers. When it goes to like a Labatt, then they get a Christmas ale. They all get hammered about two beers in. But good stuff.
That's one of the reasons I kind of stopped drinking some of the stuff because it's like, man, 2 beers in, I'm just like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's getting older or what, but for Christmas ale, I might just do that
in July.
Yeah, I'd rather have it in July than Christmas, actually.
Yes, actually, but that's true. But better in July, and good to go down and see the market and see if you could pick up some. They're redoing that too down there, or they're starting to renovate. They got those big plans to renovate the market and all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah, we haven't looked into that in a while. We got to check that out.
Yeah, I was just driven past there the other day, and they got barrels up, and looks like they're starting to do some stuff there on maybe preliminary stuff. But yeah, we should tap into that and see what else is going on. It's kind of time frame they have for it.
Yeah.
All right, that wraps us up for the day. I think we've covered everything we wanted to cover, and I appreciate everybody for listening. And if you want to critique us, tell us how great we're doing, send us a story, tell us where we're wrong, crookedrivercast.com. Send us an email, crookedrivercast@gmail.com. Check out our website for all the other places you can follow us. And thank you for listening. See you next week.
Peace.